Houston, we got a problem. Who at fault when you fall with your heart, man? Shoot the stars through the dark, who the spark when you're caught in the star and you stuck at the apartment. Hold on me by the skin of your teeth. Hold on me, wanna live, gotta reach. Roll on me, but we picking up speed. What's real, can't tell, it must be a secret.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome.
Can you believe it's been 3 years since we last did an episode?
It has not been 3 years.
It has. I looked it up.
It was in 2021.
Yeah. To my shame. June 30th, 2021.
What the heck we been doing?
So, what had happened was, right? No, it's the truth. It's the truth. So y'all remember around that time, Thanos had snapped, right? And people, had disappeared for like 5 years. So
Kobe.
The Avengers needed my help. They was like Black Panther was gone, Sam Wilson was gone, Bucky was gone, so they needed some help.
I told y'all he was about to start lying.
And Cap called me up and was like, "Hey, bro, I know you retired. Hawkeye's a bum, and we need somebody that we can rely on."
Okay, so what really happened is Kobe was working on Cootie Wars because he had to get that out for 2022. We got engaged in 2022. Then we got married in 2023. So a lot of stuff has been different since then. A lot of stuff has changed. There was a lot going on during that time. And
then we beat Thanos.
As a Houston now, y'all. I'm a Houston now. So, yeah, it's just been a lot of changes aside from his Thanos story. That's too much.
Yeah, on your left, Cap. But in all seriousness, though, thank you guys for tuning in. We did want to do like a quick episode to kind of give you guys some updates on our life changes and just kind of what the Lord has been doing in our lives recently. It's been a lot of great things, a lot of challenging things, but altogether beautiful nonetheless. So I'm going to start with you, Mrs. Houston. What has the Lord been doing in your life? What has He been teaching you?
Oof, what hasn't God been doing in my life? First, shout out to God because God is amazing, and God has a wonderful and incredible sense of humor.
Yes, He does.
God is funny. So I guess we'll start. We got engaged in 2022, and I started to navigate being an engaged woman, getting ready, leading up to marriage. 2022 was a busy season for me. I got engaged. I was taking care of my mom. I was planning a wedding and working a lot of overtime so we could pay off the wedding and so we wouldn't have any debt from the wedding. And then 2023, we got married. And I guess what God has been showing me is that life requires sacrifices. I know my friends have told me that marriage isn't easy and that we'll go through tough seasons and all of that, but probably not in the beginning because we was newlyweds, like we still newlyweds. But y'all, all y'all who have ever, shout out to all the married women, because if y'all have ever lived with a man for the first time, baby, let me tell you.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. We'll talk about that on the episode when Kofi not here. But navigating marriage has been something entirely new for me because I've never been married before, so that has taken up a lot of time, and also invested in friendships and joining a church. Like we started attending a church. So yeah, it's just been a lot of different changes that we've had going up through the years. So one thing God has shown me was that I have to be all in or all out. One thing that God has shown me though during this time, because that was your question, was that I had to be either all in or all out. There isn't an in between. Shout out to someone close to me, Marlon Brown. On his podcast, Straight Talk, he often says that either God is who he says he is or he's not. Either God is going to be Lord over everything or he's Lord over nothing. So, in allowing God to be Lord over everything, God showed me my selfishness and how selfish I was. And so he showed me that while navigating living with someone, I had to share my closet space with Kofi. So now he has space in the closet. He has space, guys. I had finances, because everything we have belongs to God, right? So nothing I have belongs to me. So why wouldn't I share it? Or why would I be selfish and hoard it or only keep it for myself when God made provision for the both of us? So what I've learned is that there are blessings that you get when you're single, and then there are blessings that you get when you're married. And so each season of my life, there are blessings that I'm constantly trying to unlock, even if it's just God's provision, because it can get difficult to trust God in the middle of not seeing anything. But learning to trust God and then learning to trust my husband as my leader has been a challenge that I hope I've gotten better at.
Speaking of challenges, what has been the most challenging and what has been the most rewarding thing in your life this past couple of years?
Since we've been married?
No, this past couple of years.
Since we've been together?
Sure.
Okay.
The last 3 years since we've been gone.
I was going to take this serious. So the most challenging thing.
Okay, stop.
So the most challenging thing is that this is what I have to deal with on a normal basis. Seriously. One of the most challenging things that I had to deal with was dying to myself daily, trying to keep a part of my identity and who I was previously, and trying to keep a part of myself so that I wouldn't lose myself in my marriage. One of the most rewarding things is on the same spectrum. God telling me that my identity comes from him alone. So if my identity is in Christ and I put my identity in him and trust him to be all, then that means now the Holy Spirit can transform me into being the woman that God created me to be. God didn't take away who I was. He created something better. And so a lot of times we want to hold on to that little piece of ourselves, like whether it's doing all of the craziness that we did before we got married or hanging out with certain people, or shout out to all my single friends. I really love y'all. But I now have a level of accountability and a different understanding of what it means to be a married woman. And so I have to leave my past behind. One thing that I say that has been really challenging for me in this season since dating was realizing that I don't have it all together. A lot of times we think that when we work on ourselves, we got it. We have arrived. We trust God fully. We good. We like this with God. We on point. But then God will show you something and you realize you're not as saved as you thought you were. Or there are levels to trusting him and he just proved to you how much you don't trust him. Mm-hmm. Or there are seasons where you fear because God might give you a little piece of a word and you don't know anything else. You're in the dark. You only know what that little piece. And that has been challenging for me as somebody who likes to have her life figured out down to a T, who likes to know what the next move is, when we're making the next move, how are we going to get to where we're going, and what's the process to get there. And now I have to trust in this man to lead us there. while I sit back and wait. That has been very challenging for me, but it's also been very rewarding because it reminds me of Hebrews 13:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, because it's causing me to put my faith in Jesus Christ, put my faith in God, put my faith in the unseen in order to get where He wants me to be. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. Nothing in my life is about me. It's all about building my character. It's all about making me like Him so that He can replicate, or we can replicate after our kind, which is what He commanded Adam and Eve. What's most rewarding about this journey is that not only have I learned a lot about myself and who I am as a woman, but God is continuing to mold me and make me into the woman He called me to be, the helpmeet He called me to be, the wife, the future mom when it's time. And that has been the most rewarding part of my journey.
Okay.
How about you?
Which part? Challenging part. What's been challenging for me?
Yeah, challenging and then most rewarding. Of course, it's me.
100%. No, the most challenging part is always when you face yourself. Yeah, you face yourself and you realize you haven't arrived, or you see your shortcomings, some flaws, or whatnot. Like, for example, I'm normally have been labeled as a patient person, but I haven't been as patient lately. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm getting old.
Old people do get stuck in their ways.
Whatever. But like when I'm at work, and I'm still patient now, bite my tongue, whatever. And then people like, oh my God, you're so patient. And in my mind, like, you don't know what I'm cussing you out of my mind right now. But it's like, then I take it to the Lord though, like in all seriousness. I'm like, God, like, why am I being so impatient with people lately? And it's like there's just a realm of like the realization actually is like I'm not where I feel like I'm supposed to be. But God reminds me that I am where I need to be. But yeah, it's like certain aspect, things like that has been challenging to me, and dying to myself, because it all comes a part of me facing myself and fighting off that selfishness, fighting off that self-centeredness. So yeah, those have been challenging. The most rewarding has been in those moments where I conquer those feelings and I exhibit the love of Christ, especially to my wife in our marriage, and really exhibiting what it means to love your wife as Christ loved the church. Is really seeing that. And there's times where, I want to get upset or whatever, but I kill myself, figuratively. But I died to myself. I put myself on the cross, and I submit. And it's like there was times where God would tell me to do that, right? Like I would want to react certain ways, like nope, and then I would do it, and then like I noticed that whenever I have done those things, it's like now He's working with her, and now I'm just like I'm sitting back and just watching her blossom and Him doing so much in her life, and I'm just like, it wouldn't have happened if I reacted a certain way.
You got this, God.
Like you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. So those have been the rewarding things. Really seeing that God is trustworthy.
Okay.
So, what are some things you're looking forward to?
Ooh. I would say I'm looking forward to changes.
Such as?
Usually I resist change because it's comfortable to stay where you are and only change like personally. But physically, I don't know. I'm excited to know what 4 seasons look like. I'm excited to be in community again. That has been awesome. Um, I'm excited to see how the work that God is doing in my friends.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see where He's going to take our marriage in 2025.
Mhm.
Um, just changes. I don't know. It could be a new job. It could be a new location. It could be anything. I'm looking forward to the season of change.
Okay. You mentioned community, right? There's something that I know we've been praying a lot about, like getting that community. Like, what has been one thing about the new community that we're immersing ourselves in that brings joy to you, that you like?
It's the laughter and the realness and the authenticity of each person. It's like no one tries to hide their struggles. No one tries to fake the funk. If we're having a bad day, we can state we're having a bad day. Life sucks sometimes. We can say that. It's the realness of being able to just hang out and chill. Plus, I get to go to people's house and just sit on the couch and just relax and just sit there and eat and fellowship with people and just talk about all of the wonderful things that God has done, but also just talk normal and about what's going on in their lives and I miss that. Like being so far away and having everybody be at work and everyone's working because everything is so expensive nowadays. It kind of and everybody's family oriented, so it kind of takes away from actually building and investing in relationships.
Mhm.
But with the community that we're a part of or that we're becoming a part of, it's like it's life changing. It's like they pour into us as much as we pour into them. It's like a giving relationship. It's not just taking. Like I don't know. It's just beautiful.
Mhm. Mhm. So just to get a little background, like we recently started attending this church here, and the people have been great. Like we attend the early service,
8 o'clock.
the 8 o'clock service, and that's where all the old people are, and they're so funny because like if we're even a few minutes late, they're like looking around trying to find, make sure we're showing up, and then when they see us walk in, especially when they see JV walk in, they start beaming. I'm just sitting there. I'm just there,
But it smells it's so adorable.
It is.
Because you learn so much from older people and there's so much wisdom there.
Mhm.
And they're just so cute.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a couple when I wasn't there. I'm gonna let them hear about it when I see him next week. I'm like, I was looking for you. Where was you at? You ain't got no excuse. They was not in they assigned seats that they sit in every Sunday. They weren't there.
But yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all why we go to the 8 o'clock service. So Kofi works on Sundays. So his work schedule coincide with the time of second service. So when I first told some of the older women at the church that, they're like, oh yeah, because I told them that 8 o'clock was too early for us on Sundays, but we was gonna do our best to make it on Sundays by 8 o'clock. And they say, yeah, we have to get up early because we take our medication and stuff, which I thought was hilarious because I'm like, well, if all of y'all can get up, make it to church on time and be here by 8, and y'all are decades older than me, there's no way that Kofi and I can't get up and make it to the 8 o'clock service. So that has been my thing with them. But all the younger people all the people our age and younger go to the second service.
Yeah, they're like, y'all need to come. I'm like, bro, like you can go, I can't go. I'm hanging with the old people.
Kofi, why are you acting like you're not You know,
Like, ain't up there. I'm still young. Trying to play me like that. But it's been a beautiful thing. I know, like some of you who may be familiar with a lot of my old posts and stuff like that may think that I may have a certain dislike for church, which is not true. I have a dislike for the fake, right? A lot of the fake stuff that goes on, a lot of the people that take advantage of people's gullibility and stuff like that. Like I don't like that. And the particular church that we attend now, it doesn't have that. It's very comforting, really, and we enjoy it. Everybody's very welcoming. We've been praying for community for a while, and we definitely got it because everybody's trying to hang out, and they're making themselves available and just just be there. And something that we really really enjoy. We love that. So that's one major update right there. It's like, but it's not just like within the church. Like there's so many different avenues and stuff that we're building community, and we just really like that.
So what is one thing that you would like to accomplish before the year ends? We're in November.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving is coming up. Christmas is coming up.
I'm ready to eat.
What is one accomplishment that you're looking forward to?
Eating 2 plates.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
No, I'm really looking forward to making sure I get my businesses like going, right? Not just being lax with it, like just really building it, seeing it through, stuff like that.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I feel like my season of rest is coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And while I would very much like to stay there in the comfort of God's bosom, I want to get more involved with church, and I also want to make sure that I'm being obedient to what God has called me to do. Yeah, I think those are my 2 goals.
I feel like the Lord called you to the nations.
So the nation of what?
The nations. I don't know, any nation that's not America, United States.
Kobe. Are you asking me if God is calling me to be a missionary?
No, not a missionary. I'm just saying, you think he called you to the nations?
I think that God has called me to obedience. And what obedience looks like is me serving him in whatever capacity he has me. To ask me if I want to go to the nations? No. However, I'm also not trying to be like Jonah. So if he calls me to it, I will reluctantly accept, even though it's not really what I want.
Okay, fair enough.
So what can the listeners look forward to moving forward?
Well, moving forward, we will be sure to upload once a week on Mondays, starting with this one, and then next week we have an episode coming with a couple of our favorite people in the course, Connie and Jermaine. We're going to be talking about compromising and what that looks like.
Oh, you mean the celebrity?
The celebrity, yeah. Be coming back with a bang with a celebrity. So make sure you check that one out. But we have a lot of good topics to talk about coming up. So we're gonna try to do some lives with those too. So we're looking forward to that.
We are hoping that you guys will be on this journey of discovery with us. We're not afraid to admit that we don't know everything, and we're new on this journey. And we'd like to hear from you guys too. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, you want to yell, you need somebody to listen to you, like,
well, if you yelling, yell
We
before
here.
you talk to us.
we love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being on this journey with us, and we hope that you will continue.
Yes. So we will see you again next Monday. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and God bless America.
And no place else. No, I'm just playing. Peace. Love you guys.
Put the family first, ain't no sanity and vanity. We know what we worth, and we about to break it down like the family curse. Through anarchy, I love enough to canopy earth. We a problem, we the answer. It's a mantra at work. You can't plan to think until you get your hands in the dirt. We demand you understand that we just cannot be hurt.